Today we're going to be starting off with the topic of price elasticity of demand. Price elasticity of demand, understanding its basic definition is the most important thing, as having a strong grip on the definition will help you through the entire chapter. So if we move forward with it, we would see that price elasticity of demand, it it is the responsiveness of the demand to a change in price. So basically, it measures the change in demand. So, for example, in the market, we have two things when we have demand and we have price. So basically, the factor of price is causing a change in demand. So demand is dependent upon price. So here we will measure, or we will see with what extent or what amount does the demand change to a change in price. So basically PED looks at the responsiveness or change in quantity demanded in QD to a change in price. So this is what we are going to look at when we are going to be discussing this. So now let's move further with it and see how it works. We are going to be looking at the formula of it now, calculating PED. So if we look at the basic formula of it, it is the percentage change in the quantity demanded. This change can be denoted by a triangle as well. So the triangle can be seen as or written as this, the way we write the triangle. So let's see, change, or we can, instead of this, the entire word change, we can make this triangle. So percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. Now let's break this formula into a simpler one in order to, so when we have to calculate it, we can break this formula into this one, and this is Q2 minus Q1 divided by Q1. So this Q2 is the new quantity, or the new amount of quantity demanded. Then Q1 is the original amount of quantity demanded, and then we're going to be dividing it with the original amount of quantity demanded. Same happens with the price. P2 is the new price, P1 is the original price, and P1 is the original price. So this is how we calculate it. Now let's look at certain examples. This is how, when what sort of, these are the different types of velocities we have. For example, something that is stretchy, like for example, if the demand changes a lot with a small change in price. If there's a significant change in demand, that is relatively elastic demand. If it changes a lot, like infinity change in the demand, then it is increase in the price causes a demand quantity to drop to zero. Okay, so that is going to be our infinity, perfectly elastic demand. Okay, then it's unitary, then it's perfectly inelastic. We're going to be looking at each one of them separately as well. Now, for example, elastic PED, where how it elastic PED happens. There are 100 people who need to get home on New Year's Eve, and the average cost per ride is $20. At this rate, all people are willing to pay the cost to get home. Uber's surge pricing raised the average cost to $30 per ride, a price increase of 50%. However, most people don't live too far from home, so 75 of them decide to walk. This leaves only 25 people who call Ubers. So due to a change in price, there's a significant drop in the quantity demanded. Okay? So the quantity demanded has decreased. So the change in price is PED is minus 1.5. Since the equation uses absolute value, omits the negative sign, the price elasticity of demand in this situation is 1.5. Okay. This means that for every 1% increase in price, there's a 1.5% decrease in quantity demanded. So there's a change. So it's greater than 1, because we omit this minus sign, because this would always be there, because it's an inverse relationship. So when we just ignore this minus sign, so we get to have 1.55%. We're just going to be omitting the minus sign. So we have 1.5%. It means it's greater than 1, which means that a drop in price has a significant change in quantity demanded. A significant change in quantity demanded means that the quantity demanded is relatively elastic. So this is how we calculate PED. We're going to be looking at more examples and more figures of it in order to see how it works later. Then inelastic demand, when there is a significantly low, for example 0.5, 0.5 is less than 1, it means that the change in price does not cause a significant change in quantity demanded, or the change in price is greater than the change in quantity demanded, so it creates an inelastic demand. So this is how we look at it, and then we're going to be looking at each value separately as well in the next video, in order to understand different degrees and values of PED.